It was the fact that I took the crowbar to the face, and it's not happened once. Like it happens about every couple of years. I fall asleep at the wheel again, and I don't even know I've fucking fallen asleep at the wheel, and all of a sudden I get a crowbar to the face. I'm like,
ballin' like Houston, ayy, feeling like Whitney. Yeah.
All right, welcome to another episode of the Married Game Podcast. We are the voice you trust when it comes to lust, and we are who you hire when she lacks desire. And we've got a special guest today. My fellow co-host, Jesse, and I are stoked to have you guys here with my old co-host and his beloved wife, Danielle, who we've been wanting to have on the show forever and a day. Welcome.
Thank you. We're excited to be here.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. I'm excited about it. And what we're going to do to kick it off
We're going to start off with taking shots.
shots.
Okay.
We're going to shot it up. Here we
Shot
go.
it up.
Cheers.
Chaser.
Cheers.
Cheers.
All right.
Cheers to
What is it?
being sexy. Cheers to being sexy and going on a double date at our favorite spot in Laguna and kicking off a little conversation.
I got a little water.
That helps.
All right, let me gather the red cups. And then
I didn't finish mine. Can I sip?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
you can
sip.
sip,
You can sip.
definitely.
I'm like, ooh, I'm going to sip. That
we're gonna
was an
feel
aggressive
that.
shot.
We're going to feel that. Thank you. Okay. Okay, well, here we are. I was thinking long and hard. What do we want to talk about? Obviously, sex.
Yes.
Duh.
Your famous line is you went from begging for hand jobs to now you're getting, Hummers on the balcony,
It's a good
basically.
thing I took that shot. Jesus. Let's do this.
Yeah, we're going right in.
Right
We're going
in.
right in.
Right.
So
Right in.
the people have heard you and I talk a lot. The podcast has continued to grow, which is exciting. They've heard a lot from her and I.
You had a huge spike in listeners once I was replaced.
I wonder
by
why.
the official.
Oh, that's
I know.
weird.
It's
I
because of
wonder.
you.
Like
I've
your
heard it.
Instagram
Yeah.
started going up when you started
When I
posting
started
it.
posting half my content
Hey, you
with
guys are
Danielle.
welcome. You're
Yeah.
welcome.
Yeah.
Well,
It's the hairs.
dude, you
It's
know
the
what?
hairs.
It's the hairs, that's
Yeah.
why.
I love it. Okay, so what was the big shift for you, Danielle, to finally get to a point where you're like, I'm into you, Garrett. I'm in for this thing. What was the big
I wasn't
thing?
into him, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like, we were married young. We grew up Mormon, like very like Christian world. Like it was kind of like sex was taboo, and then we got married, and we were just supposed to be experts at it, right?
Yeah.
And we had like a really rough go for like 10 years, and it was always like a battle that we had. And he was like, I want you to want me. I felt very mechanical for the first like 10 years.
Yeah.
And then we were just like in this place with our relationship where I didn't even know if we were going to stay married. And there's conversation if he just like wanted, I mean, we were having sex, but it was, like I said, very mechanical.
Yeah.
So it got to this place where I was like, okay, well, I'm at a point where I'm either going to date other men or get divorced, and we have 2 kids. So I'm like, fuck it. And I actually have always thought of myself as like a very sexual person. I was like, I would like to let this person out, but maybe I don't feel safe, right? And it's been taught as being very taboo, and like you can't do that. And not only that, it's like I kind of like, he was working all the time. He had kind of like a mini affair. There was a lot of trust issues. So finally I was like, I'm at this pivot where like I either just move on or I do something different. And I was, like I said, I kind of wanted to like unleash this side of me. So it wasn't like overnight, but it was just literally like just jumping all in and being like, hey, do you want to have sex in the bathroom? Do you want to have sex here? Like, and he was like, what the hell? Like, and I don't even know if I enjoyed it at the beginning. I was just like, let's just see where this goes.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it was like, I was like, okay, this is fun. And like, then there was like this playful part of it, and then it was like it started to get fun because it was more frequent, and I kind of let my guard down. And then in turn I felt like what he had wanted, all of a sudden he was kind of pouring back into me. So I did what I was like kind of bitter about and I didn't want to do, but the end result was I got what I wanted. I wanted more time. I wanted more attention. I wanted him to look at me a different way, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, that's like the first time in marriage after being married for 10 years that I'm like, okay, I get it. Like you cross the line in something that's maybe not important to you, but it is important to you and you both benefit, and I get the end result that I'm looking for.
Yeah.
It's so crazy how in life, growing up, they're like, don't have sex. It's so wrong. And then all of a sudden you get married. Okay, have sex, but do it every day and please your husband all the time. So it's like, then people have to like learn how to have sex and to do it.
Right.
Not for me because I wasn't religious, but in general.
I was looking at like some of our guys, like Runar, one of my guys that lives in Norway, and he was talking just about like the way that Europe looks at the conversation of sex versus the way that like the United States looks at it. And he was just like, it blows my mind how like constricted the conversation is and how polarizing the topic is, but because it's not like that in our country at all.
Yeah.
Like we look at you guys in the United States, we can't understand why there's such an issue about it.
Is it a religion thing or something like, or a cultural thing?
I think
or-
so.
I would
Pastor
assume
Keith
it's
about this,
religious.
Pastor.
Yeah.
But love is so beautiful, and sex, like it's supposed to be connecting, and it's a positive thing.
Are you saying in other countries though, like it doesn't, like
Not
it's
the
not a
same
big
as
deal?
here.
Yeah.
Not the same as the United States. Not
It's
the same
like
as
But
North America.
encouraged and
so
loved.
like if you're
and
like super religious in a different country, it's like it's not like taboo, because I feel like even Catholicism and other Christian cultures, it's very taboo here still at some level. So is it not like that?
I mean, I haven't.
I would
lived
say
in these
this.
places.
I would say this. The European continent is probably 300 or 400 years ahead of us. And so who founded this country? Puritans. And so like they were burning witches at the stake because they thought they levitated a book and somebody. I mean, we had some very, like, we lived by the Bible. I mean, a lot of our laws early in the American forefathers came from the Bible. So it's like,
Well, look
yeah,
at you.
yeah. Well, you know,
What do you know?
yeah. So I don't know anything other than I hate that it's taboo. But I grew up in a religious system like you guys did, and it was radically taboo. All right, so I got another.
even me not being taboo.
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to.
Yeah. Well, that's like a
Society
cultural
now.
norm.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Anybody feeling their
crazy.
shot? Because I'm feeling my left shoulder getting a little warm, and
We're
I'm
all
loving it.
chatty
That was a good
now,
little
we're in
shot.
it.
That shot hit right in.
All of a sudden, I think we all felt it at the same time. All of a sudden, I was like,
Was that the class
is
A
anybody
salute?
else feeling this?
Was that for
I
you
swear
guys?
to God, that was a double.
It was. That's why I was like,
Double.
I haven't had a
Danielle's
lot of
like
food.
a
I'm
professional,
gonna
so
like.
she's like, that was like the first time I ate
Smart,
gummies.
dude. Hey, dude, could you imagine if we got at least Susan on the podcast?
Like, we gave her one shot. Why is Susan dancing on the table?
Yeah,
I'm like,
dude.
I'm lightweight.
She's
Wait,
like,
on Super Bowl, I was like, oh, we got all fucked up. And she
Oh,
was like, was
man.
Susan there? She literally said Susan. I was like, yes, Danielle was there. But yeah, maybe some of Susan too.
Some of Susan. There was,
Some
an,
of
there was an
Susan, for
emotional
sure.
Susan that
There's
was there.
definitely.
Not a
No,
not
we
a
left-
up on
There's
the pool
still
table.
a conscious level of Susan though, and then
Yeah.
there's a level where I'm like, Susan, she took
She's
over.
gone.
Danielle
Yeah.
left.
Yeah.
Danielle left the building.
Blackout Susan. All right. I got a question for you guys. So you guys both run businesses. What is that like for the day-to-day? Because there's people that watch this that have guys that are husband and wives that run business. Is this a question you guys get asked a lot about? How do you guys do that? Because if it is and you're like, that's a boring fucking question, I'm ready to move on to the next one.
It's a good one. Danielle's got some good answers on this one.
I'm feeling my shot.
It's your shot.
Like, if you don't like it, fuck that question. What do you want to say?
How do you guys have sex? Tell me now.
Exactly.
Man,
What's your
no.
favorite
Business
toy?
and sex.
It's definitely a dynamic for sure. I think that like sometimes we don't realize how much we've built and how much stress we've been under. And when you sit back, you're like, oh, okay, that's why I reacted this way to this person or whatever, you know? So I've actually had to really, like, even though we're both successful entrepreneurs, I've had to really dial in my feminine side. And there's things where I'm like, I know I'm a producer, but there's things I have to let go of to him because I'm like, we can't both be at that level of stress. So it's been
It's
a
interesting.
wild ride. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. So
When you say more in your feminine, here's how I break the feminine and the masculine down. One is, I won't even say what the masculine is. The feminine, for me, there's an empathy that is associated with femininity. How does that hit you? How does that feel?
it's almost like I don't need to control every situation. Like I need to almost like let my guard down. And sometimes it irritates him because he'll be like, do you know how much financial stress and pressure I'm under? I'm like, that's your job.
Yeah.
That's what you signed up for. I'm like, I can produce, but I don't want to take on that role. And we can't both take on that role, or it's just like two dudes colliding. And then I don't want to have sex with you.
We actually went down that path. Like that was a really rough. So it was interesting because we went through like this rough patch of trying to figure out who we were sexually as a couple. And then Danielle starts building the business in 2010, 2009. So then we have this competitive thing that starts to brew with us as a couple, which was like super healthy because it gave us this opportunity to talk about business and have a conversation every day about business and be able to focus on something. We had this other thing to talk about that wasn't our kids and wasn't some of the bullshit in our relationship we were trying to still deal with. So we have that conversation, but the downside is that, yeah, she was deeply inner masculine. And so it created this, it birthed this competition. And that competition was not really healthy for sex at all.
Oh my God.
Because it just ended up with like battles, like fights.
Got it.
Like constant battles and arguments over how business should be done, arguing about execution, arguing about, which was super weird because like we'd be having these like deep conversations and then Danielle would be like, you can't talk to me that way. I'm your wife. And I'm like,
Oh yeah.
we're like in a business conversation right now.
And that still happens though.
Yeah.
Like,
Still
at some
does.
level, and I have to always like remind him and remind myself. I'm like, we're not in competition, but we might be a little bit.
Yeah.
Like there's this edge to us that kind of gives us this chemistry too.
Yeah.
So as much as it's like I've had to let go, we still have this like healthy competition where he's like, it turns him on, and then like I'm like, oh, you won, okay, that turns me on, right? So
Yeah.
there's this back and forth. There's still this. As much as we're like, we're not in competition, I would say it's a more healthy competition right now. Like we push each other. That's not really competition. Let's find another word for that.
Well, but we
push
like
each
the word
other.
competition.
All right.
I think it's a feature, not a flaw. When you're competitive with someone, you become better.
Yeah.
So I think comparison and
Even with your
competition.
wife?
Yeah, I'm in competition with you all the time, man.
got you
I
anyway.
got you. I'm fucking-
Anyways,
Anyhow.
easy peasy.
All right. So Jesse and I have a ton of inside jokes. Like it'll be we can say we can hum a note. We can look at each other and wink. There's a word. We have a ton of inside jokes. It's kind of like it kind of insulates us in a way where it's like us against the world. You know what I mean?
Right.
Do you guys have any inside jokes that you're willing to share with us on the show?
What are your, give me like.
Give me an example
of an
inside
example.
joke.
Yeah, I was
Really
like,
good
'cause I'm
one.
like, what?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay, say we have sex in the
Okay.
middle of the day. That's my favorite.
Okay.
And then
Middle of the day sex.
In the middle of the day, yeah.
Just like noon?
Yeah, like after I worked out and showered and ate, like I'm good, and then let's go.
Like 11, 12, 1?
11.
11.
That's a great, yeah.
11 o'clock.
Just 11. So if you look at it, 11.
Done.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
We
probably
know.
doing it right then and there.
Nice.
So afterwards, like
11,
you know how you go
11
on with
for
your day
11
and you kind of
minutes.
forget, and then
11
we're sitting on the
seconds.
couch with the Jovi around or whatever, and we go, mm-hmm.
Yeah, or we'll
Oh,
go.
wait, no.
We go. Yeah,
There we go.
We go. Remember our sex. So we'll go. So nobody knows what we're humming, but
Yeah, there you go.
I'm like, yeah, I got you.
Then
Like,
we go, mm-hmm.
yeah, and then we go. So it's just
That is a
that's
signal to go upstairs.
No,
and
no,
have
that's
sex?
a
No,
sig-
it's
it's
just
like-
already
yeah.
done it. Just
It's- they're
remember
saying,
what
like,
we
remember?
did,
Yeah,
how
got it.
fun that
Got
was.
it. Got
like
it.
we'll go out on a date and we'll just be sitting there, and the host is like, "Yeah, we see your reservation." Then we'll look and go.
Yeah, remember our sex?
So-
like, remember we had a
Oh,
good
man.
time?
Do you guys have
the hours
any
ago?
little thing like that, or
Man, ours is much dirtier. I'm like,
Okay.
No,
I can't even share it on a podcast.
Wait,
It's
this
like,
is the
I should-
podcast.
my head.
This
This
is
is
the-
literally like,
it.
remember when I?
Yeah.
I don't say that.
oh yeah, I
Now
love
you're
it.
into
It's
remember?
more like it's like the kids will be there and I'll be like, I just kind of lean in closer and I'm like, remember when that happened? He's like,
Yeah, see?
I'll be like, yeah, I remember that.
Okay.
Kind of like reliving
was awesome.
it
like
again.
I don't have.
She'll
you know
just
how many,
call
like
out the
sound
act.
effects. I'm just like,
There's not even sound effects. She'll just call out the act.
I'll literally be like, that happened last night. Good for us.
Yes.
I'm like,
Yeah.
yes.
Well done, dude.
Well
So
done.
we're not the only people with inside jokes, sexual
No.
inside jokes.
We listen,
like-
sex is a topic like quite a bit for
Yeah.
us.
We just like,
But
our
it's like
kids,
healthy now that versus like
we're
what
so
it wasn't.
open with our kids though, so
Yeah.
it's just literally Bailey will be like, "Gross, mom. We know. We heard you. I have her room's right next door to hers.
Oh my
so
God.
sad. I know.
In
I feel
that
so
house?
bad. I know.
God, get a different house. No, I'm kidding.
You need
I
a
know.
bigger
My one
now.
teenager who understands what sex is, her
Yeah.
room is right next door to hers.
That's
no.
hilarious.
So she'll be like, yeah, I heard you guys last
Oh,
night. And I'm like,
no.
I want to say sorry, but also like,
You're
sorry,
lucky.
not sorry.
yeah,
You're
sorry. I'm like, I
welcome.
hope that this is your experience when you're older, you know,
Yeah.
when you're married, like whatever it is. I'm like, I'm not going to say sorry.
How have you got, I mean, like legitimately, because like we're at a point where there's a lot of just sexual openness with us, the couple, where like releasing, talking, yelling, like, I wouldn't say screaming.
Just
Screaming
all
doesn't
the
really happen.
emotions.
Howling, maybe.
Too far. If you did that, I'd be
Yeah,
like, that got weird.
But that's
Is
why
it
it like ends
Halloween?
up like through the wall. Like I mean, with Jovi in the house, like you guys, is this like a discreet thing with her, or do you guys
We're
like
discreet.
a little very discreet?
Well,
Does she know?
We have a 16-year-old that
she's
lives with us now
only
too.
8. No,
Jovi doesn't know nothing, but I think our
No.
16-year-old niece,
She's at home when it's 11:11.
She has to know.
So she.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, and she knows our business, and we know everything we do.
Yeah.
You know how morning sex was a thing for you. You're like, oh gosh, I got my stack, I got my routine, I got my thing. Remember that? Yeah. Okay.
Course correcting.
Well,
under
okay,
the guidance
so-
of Coach Keith.
Okay, but under Coach Keith is coaching Coach Keith because middle of the day, I'm trying to fucking get guys laid.
You're 11:11. I'm like 6:30.
Yeah.
I'm like,
no, we do that too.
I'm like,
He's the
that's
more
my
morning,
frame.
and I'm like, can we wait just a few more hours?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it depends on the day of the
I
week.
like to be like half awake and be like, what's happening? That's great.
That is
best.
fun too.
That is the
Half
best.
awake
Yeah.
is fun because I'm like,
Snuggling, legs
Yeah,
entangled.
yes.
Wow, I'm
You didn't
horny.
even
Isn't that
know.
weird?
how about
Oh my
all
God.
the ways, and then hotel sex when
Yeah.
you're all wasted, getting crazy.
Okay, so
all
question,
of it's fun.
Jesse, for you. So
me,
like,
yes.
when you have sex and
me.
you're more sober
love shots.
versus when you're like deep in the sauce, dancing and drinking and singing, like, are these like totally different experiences for you? Keith?
Totally different.
What's the
Both
difference
fun,
between
though.
these two? Like the
Both
11:11 in the
fun,
middle of the
both
day.
needed.
Both
Okay, talk to me
needed.
about what the difference is, because Danielle
During
kind of
the
has
day,
it.
I actually get
Need
to
it.
relax.
Yes.
Come.
And yeah, there
Okay,
you
so
go.
you come during the day.
Yeah.
Drinking, it's hard.
And then in the hotel sex, when I'm wasted, I get to like be
Unleash,
my freak
yeah.
self with no inhibitions at all. I mean, I let it go. Sometimes we even put on like old songs, and that's my jam. So it gets
I think
crazy.
that's pretty common though.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
a lot of women I talk to, they're like, "Yeah, I take a couple drinks and I like get to entertain my man." But
Oh,
they're like,
yeah.
but on the flip side, it's like, "Hey, you need to come entertain me." Like even if it's at 11:11, and
That's where I get
and
to relax.
What's so funny is like for women, and I'm just speaking for myself. I'm like, I just need like 10 minutes. I'm like, you need a show and a dance.
Yeah.
I'm like, you say like men
Yes.
say they're quicker. I'm like, no, you
No,
need
they're
a
not.
routine.
I love it. I love the
Depends
show.
on
and
how
dance.
far in between.
The
but
11:11 is, as you said, about 11 minutes. You know what I
I'm
mean?
like
It's-
11 minutes.
Yeah, we get it. We
Yeah.
can get that rocket sent off pretty quickly. But the hotel sex, oh man, I just
That's just for
I
funsies.
want to just feel like I'm in Vegas and we are
Yeah.
causing problems again. That's how I like it. We used to do that when we lived in Vegas. We would have the nanny come and watch her overnight, and we go like to a Bruno Mars concert, and I'd
Yeah.
get gummy down my fucking gourd, dude. She'd be 2 or 3 shot Jessie, which is probably my favorite human on planet Earth, and we would just be having a blast, and we'd be like Vegas tourists, except we live 11 minutes down
Yeah.
the road,
Yeah.
and we're just going nuts.
Staycations.
Things, there you go.
Dude, when we lived in Vegas, we were super
were so
Mormon,
young. We
and
didn't
we
do
were super
anything.
young, and we didn't do anything.
No, but we've made up for that.
We have made up for it, but it was like it was really interesting. Like the first like 10 years we were married, we were like it was just so different.
We didn't know. I always tell him, I'm like, we grew up together. Like
Yeah.
literally, I'm like, I'll be 40 in the next month, and I met him when I was 18. I literally
Wow.
grew up with this man.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
We've gone through all seasons.
yeah.
So I got a question. So you're the guy who was begging for hand jobs.
Yeah.
At the
He wasn't begging. He
No,
was
no.
I know.
Asking.
No, but he was
Asking, which is
he
bad.
was pitiful. He was. I can
It was
already see
pitiful.
it. It was a fucking train
when I
wreck,
was
I'm sure.
dating him, he was like just Mr. Suave. Like,
It's true.
and then all of a sudden we got married, and he's like, "You should want to do this." So I was like, "Did you just
Yeah.
say you should want to do
Yeah,
this?"
that's.
You said
like-
I had no
You said that?
game,
Did-
dude. Yeah, no,
It
I
was
had no
so
game.
bad.
I know.
That's
I've
what I
heard.
was saying,
So
like,
bad.
you know
I've
the
heard the
difference.
shit you told
Yeah.
to Parker. I know, bro.
I had
Oh
no-
my god.
Like, let me give Parker some coaching. I was
No,
like,
no.
how about I not coach you?
So-
Dude, this was literally the conversation I was having today about the single people. I'm like, I cannot help you right now. I don't understand the dynamic of the environment you're in right now with dating apps and all the rest of it. And like the fact that women are so much more aggressive than they've ever been. Like that entire environment.
Free.
Like, it's free. Yes. Okay, good. I like that. It's a good
Yeah,
rephrase.
because men used to
We're
be able to
just
have
free
no
now.
problem, and now
Free.
women are like, "Thank
Yes.
you, I want to do this
Yes.
too,"
We're
without
just
the guilt.
speaking
that,
up.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you
Thank
go.
you.
Okay, so I'll rephrase. Free. More free than they've ever been. And I think it's interesting to watch like the dynamic of like single, like because we deal with a lot of single individuals too at Warrior. Just watching how these men will go through divorces and they're trying to figure out how to navigate the current territory. And that it's like not at all like it was 20 years ago
The
for
women
them.
are more aggressive
Yeah.
now. They're
Yeah. Do you have a lot of, you have like, I mean, you're at married game, but how many of you guys are coming in divorced and then trying to figure out after
or
that?
they come into married game and we help them get divorced.
Got it.
Yeah,
Speaking of,
Yeah, tell us what.
what's Warrior and Married Game doing?
Oh.
Like my segue?
Yeah, that was good. I think
Thank
we
you.
should.
I want to talk about it a little bit.
Really? Okay. Well, what did you want to know?
No, I want you guys to talk about it.
What would you like us to talk
What's
about?
happening?
We
No,
got
it's
some.
easy.
We got some.
We're doing some tests right now.
Yeah. Oh, dude,
Some
your
tests.
copy's been fire, bro.
We're doing some tests. Well, dude, my copywriter and my team, my guys,
Shoving his meat as he bends his lady over the woolly mammoth rug. That was the greatest line of copy I think I've ever read.
I have
an
not
email
heard that.
copy?
Email copy. His
my-
email copy this last week has been provocative, and
it
I
is
love it.
very fierce. We got feedback. I've got
Well, you know-
feedback coming back from like people on our list about like the very offended.
They're so vulgar.
But
Yeah.
look at what's available on
real?
like social media, but then you put it in words.
Yeah.
Nobody's doing that.
Yeah.
Bingo, nailed
It's
it. Wow, that
fierce.
was
It's just
hey, that,
real
Hey, that
and
was that was a really
It's
keen
fierce.
insight.
I'm serious. Like there's so you go on your For You page on Instagram and you're like ass cheeks, this, that. Like
Yeah.
nobody's doing that with copy. Bend your wife over and see what happens. Like that should be your headline.
This is what we're doing right now.
Our email copy is really aggressive as well. But so when I saw some fellow aggressive email copy, I'm like, well done. I
Just
text my.
honest.
like, I have
It's
to
just
open
honest.
this.
I've opened
Have you
and
seen
read
our,
every.
Have you seen it?
No, I just heard a little bit from you and a couple other people.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's well, we took a new angle, which was like we're going problem specific.
Yeah.
So the challenge of Warrior is it's like an overall operating system for living every single day. How do I live in power across all areas of life?
Body, Being, Balance, and Business. The book's right behind
Thank you
you.
very much. Right over my right shoulder. And this guy idea of having it all. But we started going down an angle of like specific. Like how do we start addressing guys at specific problems? And one of the problems that all guys face is the conversation of sex. This was you and I sitting out surfing when Married Game was born.
Yeah.
We were literally sitting out on like in the lineup. There's no lineup. It was just you and I. And there was like we were in our own lineup.
It was
and
probably
we were
cold as shit.
we were just talking about sex and talking about like married guys and like the difficulty of having game as a married guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like it's really difficult.
yes.
Yeah, well, the biggest distinction for us was finally realizing that short-term attraction, which he had when you were dating him, versus long-term attraction,
Yeah.
where you're like, oh, this is the only motherfucker this is
But
the
you
last
still have
dick
to
I'm-
have game when you're married.
But that's the big
Even
thing.
more.
More, yeah,
It-
probably
you-
harder.
Way
Yeah,
more.
it's harder.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you have to have way more game. But
Yeah.
you came up with the name, which I
Married
thought
game.
was so fucking brilliant. And as soon as he goes, you should teach guys how to have game, married guys game. I'm like, that's kind of clever. So I went when I got out of surfing, I'm like, hey, Aaron, just go buy this. I don't think we're ever going to use it. Well, little did we fucking know.
Little did we
So
know.
you're going more problem specific, and then bringing
Yeah.
in some experts that you love.
Yeah, called you.
Well, well, for this
yeah,
specific
yeah.
thing, yeah.
What is this beard?
No,
rubbing?
I'm so excited.
Oh well, so
Yeah.
like the gateway is like this,
so
like
funny.
Keith's like in Mary Graham as the current game. Like I rolled out like some like my interpretation of what the principles of Mary.
Well,
Game
because the
were.
way you talk about it, it's almost better than how I talk about it in the marketing thing.
I don't know if it's better, but as so much it
communicate
fits inside the warrior frame.
Yeah.
So like we framed up the Mary Game principles.
That was fun. We did that driving out of San
inside
Diego.
We did that when we were going down to fall.
Let me see if I can interrupt you some more.
Dr.
Don't give me a shot.
Don't
damn it.
give him
Jordan.
shots.
Sorry, go ahead.
Dr. Jordan, we were like, yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna ever listen to a philosopher again.
Okay, but we were driving down and we
Yeah.
came up with the ultimate framework. It was wrapped around
Yeah.
war. You had to place it in.
Yeah.
Tell us more.
So we shot the video, and now that's like a campaign that we're running right now, and it's been up for about a week, and it's going really well. It's going well. Like we had like 5 guys yesterday that signed up, and like the part of us now is we're going to take your new content,
Yeah.
and they're going to go through a 14 to 21 day experience of like the married game, and then from the married game, once we get that piece locked, now they'll move into the Warriors Way system. So like the married game's getting introduced every time a guy comes to Warrior.
So beautiful.
So
Right, because like the
exciting.
because the challenge we run into is like we run the back end operating system to a guy's life forever.
You know,
Yeah.
it's crazy though. Like we've been married for 20 years, coming up this year,
Yeah.
and Garrett is the guy that has game that doesn't know he has game, right? And
us
so, well, so like literally, I'm like,
Yeah, tell me more about this because
no, like the times you don't know you have game and that you're cute, I'm like, there you are. Like, I'm like, okay, he has game. But then when it's like forced game,
Yeah.
yeah.
it's like not attractive, right?
Yeah.
So you have to make it like kind of discreet. And I agree, like probably being married and having game is probably harder because your wife expects a lot versus when you're married, you're like, please respond to my text. Like, please, like, yeah, you're still kind of like dating, right?
Yeah.
So, but there has to be some effort. I think that men get married and they're like, I'm the provider. I don't have to have game. My game is I pay the bills
Yeah.
and you're welcome for your Chanel bag. I'm like,
Exactly.
no, fuck you. Like,
Yeah.
like at least for me, I'm like, sorry,
There
like that's
she
not
is.
enough for me.
There she is. That's the girl we're looking for. Hey, but that you're absolutely right about that. And what we found is that when a man provides, he and protects and produces, he feels entitled
Like that's
to
enough
passion.
gain. Yeah.
And that entitlement leads to apathy, and apathy is what causes the loss of attraction.
Yes.
And then what happens?
Well, they start knocking on our door and say, "Man, I haven't got my dick wet in a while. What you guys got going on in there? You guys selling blowjobs on tap or what?"
But it's so crazy because it's like the guy's like, I'm doing my part. And you're like,
You're not.
You're not
Yeah.
doing your part. And the funny thing is it's like, it's not that much harder to do this other piece of the puzzle. And
Yeah,
it will
it's
actually set you up in business and everything else. I told Garrett this week, I'm like, okay, you wake up, you work out every day. Why? Because you know it fuels you, you know, it puts you on fire. I'm like, you put like maybe 2 date nights or 3 date nights a week with your wife or making that intention. You don't know what that'll do with you in business. Like you work out every single day because you know the outcome that you're going to receive.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't you put that same time into your wife and receiving the outcome that you're looking for? But men don't get that.
They don't.
They're like, they don't get that. I'm like, you work out every day. You working out is a chore, right?
Yeah.
So I don't care if you think your wife's a fucking chore. At the end result is what you should be looking for.
Man, you nailed it. I think we've got the
Yep.
new fucking married game spokes-lady.
Well, it's
Yeah,
like-
that's really true though. Like, it's so fucking true that people, we talk about it as investment. It's never a sacrifice. Like we never use the word sacrifice. I'm not sacrificing shit. I'm investing because I want an ROI. And what we call is ROI is the return of intimacy. If you want return of intimacy, you've got to connect outside the bedroom, be able to connect inside the bedroom. And dude, it's, you either do the fucking work and you have abs or you fucking don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really true. Yeah. Well done.
This isn't easy. Like we were talking about this walking back from lunch a few days ago, and like you guys were a good example about this. Like I was like so stuck in my routines with business. I mean, you guys were like championing like it was like a year and a half ago. We're all sitting at dinner, and Danielle's like, "Why don't you come in a couple mornings a week and have sex with me?" And I'm like, "I got my routine. I need to hit my routine."
You looked at your routine as return on investment, but you didn't look at me as the return on investment.
Yeah.
As hard as
And
that
and
is,
what's
yes.
crazy is I'm a better return on investment. I can promise you
Well
this.
done. Well
100%.
fucking done, dude.
100%.
That's a naturally beaded row comment right there. She wefted that
She
in
wefted that
perfectly,
right
dude. Well done.
You know, the thing is crazy though is that guys don't see it. Like
Yeah.
we were talking about this a couple of days on Tuesday. We went to lunch. I was like, guys don't like if you're pursuing.
You want to know why guys
success-
don't see it though?
Why?
Because they think they're better than their wives.
Okay.
They, literally, they're like, I've got her. I pay the bills. I'm better than you. I don't have to do that.
That's facts right there.
I'm telling you right now.
That's
He's like,
facts.
because I make more money, I'm better,
I'm better than you.
So I
because
don't
of a
have to
piece
do
of paper.
this.
Exactly. I literally said that not that long ago.
And you're like, and I don't care if you're a stay-at-home wife. I don't care what you do. And you're like, you married me.
Yeah.
You married me. You're not better than me.
Yeah.
You're equal to me. So show up as my equal.
Yeah. In certain aspects, I agree with you.
Okay. What aspects do you not agree? Go.
Well, I agree with all of it, but I think there might be that might not be the entire spectrum of the fucking light we're talking
No.
about. So I mean, bump goes in the night. Who's running down there with a gun to shoot the motherfucker?
Not the queen.
No.
Not the queen.
You and I are.
the peasants.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Send the peasants to handle the intruders.
Queen's not
Got
dying.
it.
Go ahead.
Got it. I get to finally use this gun. Oh
But
my
wait,
god.
are you running into war when there's no war?
I don't know, Sun Tzu. What are you
Elaborate.
talking
I
about?
would say
I
that I
love
do.
it.
Like,
Yeah, well,
Men
that's
want to
Garrett's
be
move, dude.
That's my
no,
only move.
That's his own.
Men want to be protectors.
Yeah.
And definitely Garrett.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, he's like, I'm protecting you. I'm like, there's no war.
Yeah.
You're running into a war. There's no war.
then I start a war with you.
That's
But
a
I
big
love that. I'm like, I love that you would take a bullet for me.
Yeah.
But nobody has a gun down there.
Yeah.
So where are you going?
Yeah.
We're fine. Let's
We're
relax.
fine.
Let's
So I'm
have
like,
fun.
come here.
Yeah.
Take a bullet
Let's
in
hang
another
out.
way. Let me show
Yeah.
you. Let me
Exactly.
show you.
Let me take a bullet for
Let
you
me
down
take
the gullet.
yes.
Yeah. Let me take a bullet down my gullet.
Oh, God.
Too far.
On that note, y'all.
Too awkward. This is beautiful. This is what we do here right here. So, all right. Anything else you guys want to say? Because I know we got a reservation
This
to
is
go.
fun.
Yeah, this has been
I
really
know.
fun. I think I'm ready for another shot because I had forgot.
Shot and sushi.
I forgot how much fun shots were. I'm usually in the gummy train, but
I'm
this
always
is this is a
I
fucking
haven't had a
vibe.
lot of food, so I'm kind of like, this is great.
Yeah, this is amazing. Anything you
Cheap
guys
date.
want to say?
Yeah.
Anything you guys like? I actually wanted to ask you one question.
Go.
We've heard you so much on this podcast.
Hey, get out of here, Gary.
Yeah, so
Ask Danielle.
yeah, so we're gonna have a lot of fun with whatever we're creating, and it's epic and awesome and all that. what would you say to the wives who might have been in your situation? Because believe it or not, there's like 30% women who watch this show. And what would you say to them if they were in the situation that you were in when you're like, man, I'm not super thrilled here, but I either got to change me or change. What would you say to them?
Before you answer that question, go explain the situation or what the situation is you were in.
I thought
like
you
what
did
it
that
is
earlier, but if
but
you
like
want to recap.
what I mean by that is like even just like in the last like 5 years, 6 years, it's like trying to get. One thing you said is that I will never stop fighting for time.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
So
talk about that.
No, like that's like a 2-part question here.
Okay.
I feel like if you're that woman that's frustrated, like, and you're like at this point where you're like, what do I have to lose? You don't have a lot to lose. So fucking unleash. Like literally. You don't like your man, you're disgusted by him, like whatever it is, like who cares? Like unleash. And then all of a sudden this attraction rebuilds. Because you're like, oh, I needed to let loose and now he sees me for who I am. So it's so crazy. Like women that are resentful and like, they're like, I'm not going to do that because I don't even like him and like whatever, and he's not doing his part or whatever. Like, okay, prove that theory wrong and unleash. Like literally. That's
for a time until you're like, all right, this isn't
you're
working.
like, okay, so like in my experience, I was like, wow, I kind of found myself.
Yeah.
I was like, she was always there. I shut her down. Like I found myself. So that's the first point is like, let yourself unleash. Like you might not like this guy, but you're going to go sleep with a fucking guy at a bar. Like you unleash to him, but you won't unleash to this guy you have history with. Give it a shot. Go fuck him in the bedroom. Go fuck him like the guy that you just fucked in the bar. Right?
Yeah.
Like see what happens. Yeah. Like do it. Like who cares?
It only get better.
Treat
from
him.
there,
Treat him like a piece of meat.
Yeah.
If you don't think of
Yeah.
him as anything but a piece of meat, then treat him like a fucking piece of meat.
Wow. Look at
And
you
do
go.
it for you.
Look at you go.
True.
Okay.
You don't
Like
get it.
on this topic is interesting. We watch this with guys, which is guys will be in relationship in Warrior, and then they'll get divorced, and then after they get divorced, they do all the following. They hire a trainer, they get jacked, they lose weight, they dress like a champion, they buy a new car, they hire like a
step
game
up.
coach.
Yeah.
And I'm listening in my mind saying, what would happen? Like, why didn't you just do that while you were married? Like, why did you
Exactly.
wait until things blew up to then
Exactly.
become your best self?
Yeah.
Why aren't you being your
Because
best
he's
self right
producing,
now?
and that's enough.
But can I answer that?
Sure, go.
Because that's what happened to us. Is that I kept telling him. I was like, things need to change, or I'm gonna leave. I can't live like this. He didn't hear anything. The second I said that I'm leaving, light switch.
Yeah, that's
He
a,
had to have heard
Game.
that, and I had to have left for him to start doing all those things. I mean, he was heavy, slept on the couch, ate Chipotle burritos, wasn't a good dad, didn't do any of those things. I literally said, I'm leaving you, light switch. That's it.
I only knew one dial, dude. I was a producer. Like,
And then
That's
he's
it.
like,
That's what I'm
And he's
saying.
like, you'll never leave me. That's what he thought.
yeah.
No, I left your ass.
We like to call that delusional.
Yeah.
I
So
was.
I
that's
had to have.
I would say
left
that's
him.
probably common. Like
Yeah.
men, and
Very.
still to this day, guys are like, I'm doing my part,
Yeah.
and then they're like, oh, my wife cheated or my wife left, and you're like, you were eating
You
burritos
think?
on the couch.
Yeah.
She doesn't
Yeah.
care how much money
Yep.
you're making. You don't
Don't care.
see her anymore.
Yeah.
You stop trying because your excuse was you produce.
That's
Yeah.
exactly why we
Wow.
do married game.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Your excuses
exactly
you
why.
produce. There's
You're-
another
that's
one.
that was good. Yeah.
I just got a text today from a guy, and I'm going to read it. I'm not going to say who it is, but I got a text from a guy today.
If I can guess it, should I say his name? No, I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. I'm just totally guessing. That feels like. God,
He
shots
said
are the
this. Here's
only
what he
way
said.
to go, dude. I am
Bartender!
I'm a
Here's
Here's what he said.
fucking
Here's what he
fan.
said.
Okay,
Garrett,
good.
Okay.
I need your help, man to man, and as a dad with kiddos, this is not a joke. My wife has been sleeping with another man. I'm devastated, brother. My heart is broken, and my mind is going crazy. I know you're not a savior. I just need help to end this from the roots. Like this is a dude I know, good man, entrepreneur, works real hard,
That's
but he's not been giving attention to his wife for years. Like he's just been working hard, being with kids, trying to do his best. But like that's the thing is like guys have been we've been taught this
Yeah,
though.
totally,
Society
get it.
taught us to do this.
Yeah.
And then guys are doing it. But what's happening now, and this is why there's this massive exodus of women like rising in power and divorcing their fucking
it's
husbands
not
and all.
enough.
Yeah, but guys are late to the table on this because we're generationally been taught just get the bills paid and make a little bit more. And if you pull this off, like your vagina should just be open for business, and like you should love and appreciate me because I got all the money figured out. That's it. Like.
And it did work that way, but there was no real passion in the relationship. Like women were like, "This is my duty, this is your duty," and it was a very mechanical relationship
and unhappy.
It was just like she did her duty, he did his duty, and all of a sudden, women wake up and they're like, "I'm not okay with this." And men are like, "I'm so confused why she cheated," and you're like, "Because you were waiting for you to wake up." We're in a women's movement right now. And the men are slowly like coming around, but even producing men, like they have to wake up and realize that producing is not enough. And it doesn't take that much more effort to do the little things that will actually probably make them even higher producers.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Well, you become the most attractive version of you. Everything is
You
attracted
get what
to
you
you.
want.
Well, you attract everything. I think that you're so right, both of you, in saying this. It's not taught. This is not taught. None of this shit is taught.
No.
Like, we're very lone voices, the four of us at this table, speaking in these beautiful, amazing Elvis mics, saying, "Hey, guy, you're gonna have to actually have some game. Like, you got to become fuckable. This isn't enough. Of course, you provide. That's what you're supposed to do, you dum dum. But so the guys don't know it. But
You know what I like? I know we're like trying to make a dinner reservation, so I feel like the most important message inside this particular show is that women need to unleash and give themselves permission and freedom, and men need to also give themselves permission. And not necessarily unleash. I feel like men have been free for a very long time, but they need to put in that little bit of effort, right? So it's like it's both male and female. It's both husband and wife are gonna have to rise to the occasion. You got prudish women, and they need to like unleash and let go. For their man to rise and be that person, right? So it goes both ways. There's an awakening between both the husband and the wife.
Yeah. Well, if she didn't leave, I'd still be asleep and thinking it wasn't my problem.
First.
Yeah, you did.
But you know what I love? You know what
that's typically what happens. Just so you know.
But no, here's what.
This is what happens to me and Danielle. Like that's exactly what happened. Like people look at our story with Warrior, and they're like, "Well, how did this get started?" Warrior doesn't exist without Danielle. Danielle was the activator of Warrior. It was the fact that I took the crowbar to the face, and it's not happened once. Like it's happened. It happens about every couple of years. I fall asleep at the wheel again. And I don't even know I've fucking fallen asleep at the wheel. And all of a sudden I get a crowbar to the face. And I'm like, whoa, hold the fuck up. Or stiletto to the forehead, which was a literal thing
I
here
would
just a
say
few years
producing
ago.
men are backed by women that are fighters. They really are. It's like you see a producing man that's still married or still with their partner. It's because that woman fought for that fucking shit.
Ooh.
She's the warrior.
Nailed it.
There she is.
Totally.
And that's what I'm saying. Like I try to tell women all the time, I'm like, never stop fighting for what you want. Like your man's the producer, but like that doesn't mean you don't have a voice.
Yeah.
Like
Amen.
you want more time, then fight for it. You want roses, you want morning sex, you want 11-11, then tell him, communicate that. Like don't stop fighting it. Don't settle into this role of like he's the producer and that's enough for me. That's not enough for you and you know it.
Yeah.
So communicate to that so he knows, right?
Right.
You know, unfortunately for most guys though, it takes I'm leaving, I cheated, I'm divorcing you.
The light switch.
And I don't know why it is. I mean, every single time it happens, I'd love to say that even as like the founder of Wake Up Warrior that somehow I've dialed it in. There are still moments, even recently, where I've had to take massive crowbar to the face, but it's a surprise attack. You're just walking along, you're thinking everything's good. You're like, I'm killing this game called life and marriage. And then you're like, whack in the face on the ground, teeth are on the floor, and you're like, what the fuck just happened? And then your first response is, are you fucking kidding me right now? And there's anger and there's rage and there's frustration. And then there's this next stage, which is like, okay,
You woke up.
why did that happen? Then there's listening, and inside of the listening, there's hearing, hopefully. And in that hearing, all of a sudden you realize, holy fuck, I've been drifting lanes on the freeway, and that crowbar just saved our whole family. because I've been drifting so far on the fucking freeway. I was about to head to a place there was the point of no return. Like, it's a certain level, that disconnect for a woman. I have to imagine, like, feeling that isolated and unwanted because of the man. Like, this exactly the situation. And the greatest part is the guy that texted me this today, I had this conversation with him like a year ago, which is like purely irony because I recently got a crowbar to the face. So like the piece of watching this happen for him, I was even telling him, like, bro, like, you got it, like, bro, simple shit. You got to take her on dates, dude. You got to, like...
Yeah.
We're not complicated.
No.
It's
Pay a little attention.
Yeah,
just
literally.
talk to me. Just listen a little.
We need sex, but we just need a little bit more, like consistency.
We call it T&A. You guys like time and attention. We like tits and ass.
And we want to give you tits and ass.
Yeah.
But we
I
also,
want to, yeah.
But we need just like a little bit of time and attention.
Yeah. It's so beautiful.
Not a lot. Yeah, I'm like, I actually like my own time. I like my own time, but I just need,
so do I.
I just need just a little bit more.
I love it. Well, I want to do this again with you guys. This was so much fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
Shots are mandatory because this
I was like, woo.
they call it a social lubricant for a reason. So I'm going to look over at this camera and let them know what an amazing show we just had. We are honored to have you here. Share the show if you got anything out of it. Send it to your friends. Say, hey, listen, I know you haven't been getting laid in a little while. This might put a little pep in your step. Or send it to the lady friend you know who's just spent a lot more time with her Vibra 2000 than with her husband, and she needs to unleash, as DKW said. With that being said, keep crushing it. That shit's contagious.